Is there any healthy fast food?
Tough one. You could say it's interesting to have the Impossible Burger at Burger King. I wouldn't call it healthy. I'd call it on par with
They put mayo on it.
I know. My peers, I haven't had one yet. I'm not anti that. We have the Beyond Meat Burger at Green Space Cafe, but I sure don't eat a lot of them, and they apparently will grill it on a separate grill without mayonnaise and cheese if you tell them you're plant-based. I haven't had the joy of experiencing that yet. Is there any healthy fast food in a standard? It used to be baked potato at Wendy's. I ate so many plain baked potatoes at Wendy's.
They all have eggs now, though. What about like an egg McMuffin or something?
He doesn't like eggs. That's not vegan.
We don't
talk eggs. Yeah. What about the bean burrito at Taco Bell?
Yeah, that other than the salt, that's been a go-to. Taco Bell's a pretty plant-based friendly place. You say healthy. There is a franchise out of L.A. It's not a franchise. It's soon to be a franchise. It's called Veggie Grill. There's probably 20 of them in L.A. They just opened at Harvard Square in Boston this weekend, and there's 6 of them in Chicago. There's 5 of them in D.C. They're coming to Detroit. They're as good as it gets for plant-based, faster food. But, there's a zillion unhealthy vegans eating vegan milkshakes, vegan fries, vegan burgers. If you want to transition off of animals for the sake of the world and the animals, go there.
Right. That's a good point.
Pretty quick.
Just because you're vegan doesn't mean you're going to be skinny.
That gets back to junk and clean. And clean eating, #clean eating is the most important message. And that's called a broccoli. That's called a salad. That's called a cucumber. That's called an apple. Learn.
Some people also call that boring. Yeah, I think Kevin might be in that category. I'm not. I'm.
It can be really interesting. The range of brightly colored fruits and vegetables, grains and beans can keep you going for your whole life. And the great chefs out there, the great chefs in Paris are.
You need a good chef.
Yeah.
The problem is cooking vegan at home is tough. Yeah. Going to restaurants like yours and others, and I love going to other cities and experiencing great restaurants, and I've texted you some of their menus, and that's fun, but really doing this at home is difficult.
Yeah, so, people, and I don't have financial interest in any of these, but purplecarrot.com, people order the box. Well, there's a Tom Brady 12 line that's all plant-based. So you have fun with your family for half an hour making something creative. You can't do that every meal, every day. It's too expensive, but it might give you some insight. There's some companies you can order a few meals from ready to go, so you do nothing. Sprinly.com, mamasays.com, sakara.com. Again, it exposes people, and I often tell my patients, you're not ready to do gourmet vegan cooking at your house. Do this for a couple weeks. I'm not telling you to do it forever. It's expensive. Some people, and I've referred people to a chef for a few months, get them going.
One thing
it can be as simple though as can you bake a baked potato and a sweet potato? Maybe find out some purple potatoes. Can learn how to make a whole wheat pasta with marinara and a boatload of kale, spinach, garlic, onion. These things are tasty. These are simple skills. You're going to start chopping mirepoix. You're out of there. You're bored.
Right. Does your diet impact depression at all? Or?
Yeah. Plants power happiness. There's good data. For a lot of people like that, just one meal a day going a little greener. Learn how to make a green smoothie in the morning or lunch. Some people do it for lunch. If you put a handful of spinach in a blender, but you put a handful of blueberries, it looks purple, tastes purple, looks blue. Ton of flaxseed, ton of almond milk, or I'm a big fan lately of oat milk.
Me too. Love oat milk.
Oat milk. Oatly from Sweden, man. They make
that's the bomb.
You want a latte with oat milk. It's you can't tell the difference.
I'm done with almond milk, Joel.
Yeah, I think oat milk's an upgrade.
What about soy?
Yeah, soy's good. Soy got beat up by a group called the Weston Price Foundation that 20 years ago, pretty meat-eating anthropology group that spread the word that soy grows man boobs and soy prevents erections. It turns out there's a variety of chemicals. This is science. Science communities that eat soy, Japanese communities particularly, have incredible health traditionally and long life. That's epidemiology. There are randomized studies. Soy lowers your cholesterol. Soy lowers inflammation. But the word got out that there is estrogen in soy, and it makes men into women, and it makes women into cancer. It turns out there's estrogen in the meat you're eating and the chicken you're eating and the turkey you're eating because they're injecting them, and there's estrogen all through your milk unless you're buying organic milk. And that's real estrogen. That's high-powered estrogen straight from an animal with a similar chemical structure to our own estrogen. These plant estrogens are weak little wimps, and they actually will block the estrogen in your body or the estrogen in your diet from getting to the estrogen receptor. So there's no doubt, it's been shown, and I would never quote this, if you want to avoid breast cancer, you eat some soy foods, edamame, tempeh, maybe a little tofu and a scramble. And if you have had breast cancer, it's either neutral or an advantage to have some soy in your diet.
All right, I got in a fight with one of my daughters about that the other day, so I'm telling her you can eat soy.
The Impossible Burger is soy-based, protein substitute, where the Beyond Burger is a pea protein. But it's not my favorite choice for a lot of reasons. I like the Beyond Meat a little better, and I don't like it too often. But I would tell anybody, compared to the beef you're getting at McDonald's or Wendy's, Hardee's, it's a big upgrade in your health.
The problem with the Impossible Burger or the Beyond Burger is you think you're ordering healthy. You think it's a diet meal, but it comes on white bread.
Yeah.
It usually comes with a side of French fries.
Right.
And
with a Coke.
Yeah,
if you just pull out the little
I've walked
patty, you're okay.
I've walked out of some bars. I go to a bar in Royal Oak, Ale Mary's, that has a lovely vegan menu. Right. But sometimes I walk out of there feeling really full and kind of gross after eating a vegan meal. Yeah. And it's obviously, like you said, not all vegans are skinny and healthy.
Yeah, the owner of that place is one of the smartest restaurateurs in town, and
I love them.
His tequila is amazing too.
I go all the time. I'm still going. I'm saying that just because you eat the Beyond Burger or the Impossible Burger doesn't mean
it's no guarantee.
I don't know even if I'm losing calories on that day. No, probably not.
Do it. Treat yourself once in a while, not too often.